Hi guys, it's Bri. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys in depth how I create my budgets. This is going to be a long video, you guys. So if you're interested in seeing how I create my budgets, stay tuned. I will have timestamps in the description box below because, like I said, this one's going to be a long one. So I don't want to make the intro too long, so we're just going to go ahead and jump right on in. Alright, so as we can see, our paycheck budget is going to get broken down into 5 different sections. The first one's going to be income, next one's going to be bills, then we have cash envelopes, sinking funds, and then lastly down here at the bottom we have debt snowball. So the first step is to figure out how much you're going to get paid. So if you're on a salary, you can do your budget ahead of time. In my case, I never know how much I'm going to get paid, so I wait until I know the exact amount so that I can do my budget. So for my paycheck, it is going to be $411.81, and I am sharing with you guys my real numbers. So once you figure out how much you're getting paid, the next step is to calculate the dates that your paycheck will have to last you. So for example, I got paid on April 26th. I won't receive another paycheck until May 3rd. So the dates that my paycheck has to last me is from April 26th to May 2nd. Because on May 3rd, I will do a new budget for that particular paycheck. Now that we know the dates the check will last us, we have to see which of our bills land within these dates. In my case, I've already paid my bills for the month of April, so we'll look at the May section of my planner. So we can see that on the 1st, it says that I have Snowball for $73. This just means that I used to have minimum payments on this date for debt that I have since paid off. I continue to pay the $73 of minimum payments that I had. The only difference is that it goes towards the next debt that I'm trying to pay off. We also see that on the 2nd, I have another Snowball for $27. So I'm going to go ahead and add the $73 and the $27. So altogether, our Snowball is going to be $100 for this paycheck. So on my budget sheet, I'm just going to go ahead and write down the debt that I'm working on and the amount that I just said, which is $100. Now going back to the 1st, we can see that my rent is due for $580. I split this amount with my boyfriend because he does live with me. So if we divide 580 by 2, we see that my portion of the rent is $290. Now, if you guys saw my last video where I stuffed my tax return, you would know that I set aside $500 of that tax return to put towards my bills. The money for my bills and monthly expenses stays in my account. Occasionally, I will take out cash for my rent and my car payment in order to split those amounts in half. So I would take half from one check and half from the next, just because those bills are big amounts, and if I took only from one paycheck, that would basically leave me with no money left over for anything else. So going back to my rent, since I already have my $290 in the bank set aside for that, I'm only going to write that in the bill section so that I can remember that I need to pay that. But this amount will not be coming out of this check, okay? So after we write all of our bills and the amounts that are due, we're going to add up everything and write that in the box where it says total. For me, like I said, the rent is not coming out of this check, so we will leave our total blank. So after we figure out what monthly expenses we have, we then move on to our weekly expenses or our cash envelopes. So some common categories for this area are gas, groceries, spending, household, and toiletries. So what you need to do to determine what categories you may need is to take a look at your spending habits. You can go over your old bank statements and see what areas you might be overspending in. And because none of us have the same lives, our categories may be different. So for example, if you don't have pets, you won't need a pet envelope. So the categories are going to be tailored to your specific spending habits. After figuring out what categories I spend money on a weekly basis, I just write them in. Now the amount of what I stuff for each envelope is going to vary every single time. So basically how I figure out the amounts that I need to budget for is I ask myself, what, if anything, do I need to buy this week, and how much do I anticipate that it will cost? So for example, the babies, my fur babies, their envelope already has $25. If they need a new bag of food, it will cost me about $30. So since they already have $25 in their envelope, This week I will only be stuffing $5. Moving on to clothing. As some of you guys know, I had a baby almost 2 months ago, so none of my clothes fit. I'm anticipating that we'll be going to the beach soon, so I do need to buy a new bathing suit because none of my clothes fit. So I've already went ahead and found a bathing suit that I like, and it costs about $25. So with tax, I will be budgeting $30 so that I'm able to buy the bathing suit that I want. So food is just my eating out envelope, and I'm only going to budget $25, and that should be enough to eat out once, me and my boyfriend. So I will be putting aside the $25. For grocery, my envelope already has $50, so for this week I'll be adding $75, and that should last for the week. For toiletries, I really don't need to purchase anything at the moment, but I will go ahead and set aside $10 just in case I need to buy deodorant or toilet paper, things like that. My gas envelope, I will be budgeting $25. My envelope, I believe, has $5 already in it, and I do need to fill up this week, so $30 should be enough. Or at least I'm hoping that it's going to be enough because I do live in California and gas is up to $4 already, so we'll see. Now, Julian is my son. He does need formula coming up in the next couple of days, so I will set aside $45 for that. Then we're going to go ahead and add up all of these amounts in order to get the total for our cash envelopes. And we see that our total is $215. Alright, so moving on to our sinking funds. Sinking funds are basically categories that I save up for throughout the year. So some examples would be anniversaries, Christmas, birthdays, car maintenance, and things like that. The amount of my sinking funds also varies since I don't have a set goal for what I want in each envelope. Now, the only envelope that does have a goal amount is my car tags envelope, and that's because my car tags cost about $300, so I need to make sure I at least have $300 in that envelope by August, which is when my tags are due. So I'm just going to go ahead and quickly write in my sinking funds, and then we'll go ahead and go through the budget. Alright, so let's say you want to have $1,000 saved up for Christmas by December 1st. What you can do is figure out how many paychecks you'll receive from the time that you start saving up until December 1st. So if you had 25 paychecks from now until December 1st, you would divide your goal amount of $1,000 by 25 paychecks. And we see that we would need to put aside $40 per paycheck in order to reach our goal of $1,000 by December 1st. So that's one way to figure out how much you need to set aside if you have like a specific goal amount. But like I said, the only goal amount that I have is for my car tags, and everything else is basically just however much I can put in. So I try to at least put $5 in every single envelope, but sometimes I don't have enough money to stuff every single envelope. So what I do is I choose the categories that are the most important and stuff those only. So I'm going to go through and write in the amounts for my budget. So for Peanut is just a little nickname that I created for Julian whenever I found out that I was pregnant and I didn't know the gender. So for Peanut's savings, he's going to get $20. For my savings, I'm going to get $20. Birthdays, I will set aside $10. I don't have a birthday until June, so this is like one of those that if I didn't have enough money, I wouldn't stuff. Car maintenance, I'll put $10. My car tags will also get $10. Christmas will get $15. I am going to try to start bumping up my Christmas just because I do want to have a little bit more in my Christmas envelope by the time I start buying presents and stuff. And for my gifts, I'll put $10, and medical, I have $1 left over, so I'm just going to put that lonely dollar in medical. And again, we're just going to add up the totals and write that in. So 20, 20, 10, 10, 10, 15, 10, and 1. We see that our total is $96, so I'm going to go ahead and write that on in. And for Snowball, we already went ahead and put that amount, so the last step of our written budget is to add up all of these subtotals right here. So our grand total should equal to what we got paid, so let's go ahead and see. For bills, nothing's coming out of this check. Cash envelopes, we have $215. For our sinking funds, we have $96. And for our debt Snowball, oops, I did not write the 100 right here. So for our debt Snowball, we have $100. and we see that it is $411. So our grand total is $411, and if we look back up here to my total income, we see that that matches what we're getting paid. So that means we have assigned every single one of these $411 a task. From here, all that's left to do is figure out how much cash you need to pull out and the denominations that you need and how many of those denominations, so that we're able to stuff our envelopes. So if we add up my cash envelopes for $215, my sinking funds for $96, and my $100 for my Snowball, we can see that I need to pull out $411. So I'm just going to draw a quick table and go through each of my categories and figure out what I need. So for example, my fur babies get $5, so I need one $5 bill. For clothing, I budgeted $30, so I need a 20 and 2 5s. For food, I need a 20 and a 5. Grocery, I need 3 20s and 3 5s. Toiletries, I need 2 5s. Gas, I need a 20 and a 5. And for Julian, I need 2 20s and a 5. So I'm just going to go through every single one of my envelopes and figure out what I need. Alright, so after I've done that and I figured out how many of each bill that I need, I go ahead and I make sure that this is equal to the $411 that we need to take out. So this would be $100, this would be $200, this would be $110, and this would be $1. And if we add that up, we'll see that that matches the amount that we said earlier that we needed to take out. Alright, so after I do that, I write the totals on my little cash breakdown card, so that way whenever I go to the ATM or the teller, I can pull out exactly what I need. Now the very last step is to stuff our envelopes, but because this video is already so long, I'll be posting the cash stuffing portion of this budget on Thursday. So I hope this at least helped a few of you guys out. If you guys liked today's video, be sure to give me a thumbs up, and if you're not already, be sure to subscribe to join our little budgeting family. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.